but I'll say a lot of them, and the judges tolerate it.
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, I can't tell you how many times growing up in Northeast Texas that driving in Deep East Texas, that's where they famously just take the wallet money from old ladies and stuff, where they'd say, I mean, I'd have a speedometer on at 65, and they'd pull me over, or at 60, they'd go, you were going 75. And I'd say, it was state police and regular police a couple times. They'd say, no, I've got it all back here in the car. You were, don't argue with me, sign the ticket. And I knew full well when I drove by the cop, there's cops every 5 miles, that I had it on the...
And they will not let you look at it.
And they would, and I said, I want to go look at it. And they said, listen, you want to go to jail? Just sign the damn ticket.
But,
and they were looking right at me both times, lying. They just wanted to write tickets.
But I can tell you, when I was a police officer, I could lock my radar in at 75 and then pull over every car and go, yeah, come back and look. So what does that really mean? I mean, I just lock the screen.
But, I mean, how do they get people that'll do that? Why? It's just so corrupt.
It's a culture. There's an extreme us against them attitude. And I understand how it happens when you work in, like, I guess if you're in Chicago and you work in an area where you might not, everybody hates your guts. But why do they hate your guts? Because you're constantly at odds with them. You're constantly arresting their friends and their family members for possession of marijuana or jaywalking, or, there's crime. There's crime that you and I want to be protected.
It's like the Lago Vista doctor's wife with no criminal record arrested in front of her kids for not wearing a seatbelt.
I mean, they should have, that police officer should have had his badge taken away and be banned forever from being a police officer.
Did you see the video that we posted that Drudge picked up that became a big national news story today, where the New Jersey cop, like deputy chief, says, I don't have to follow the Constitution, Obama doesn't.
Yeah, I watched that yesterday. What a joke. But then again, he was making a pretty good point there about when our top elected officials constantly violate the Constitution. Well, what is the value of that piece of paper anymore? I think it's more than a piece of paper. And I think that if the American citizens would demand that the police, the courts, and our public officials would honor the Constitution, we'd have a lot. We'd go back to the old days that you were talking about. Well,
let's talk about when you were an Austin cop, because I remember growing up, and I wasn't a big troublemaker, but I got in fights and stuff. If the police pulled us over and we had a 12-pack of beer and there was like 3 guys and 3 girls in the car, they would just dump it out or take it because nobody was obviously impaired. How many beers you had? You had 1 or 2 beers, we're going to pour them out. They didn't want to just take us to jail. Now, that I'm told never happens.
The rites of passage have now become a criminal record. Right. If I liked the beer, I'd take it. If I didn't, you'd pour it out. Now they bust you. You lose your driver's license. You get an alcohol-related incident on your criminal history that you can never get rid of. We talked about this before. The police pull you over, instead of writing you 1 ticket, they write you 4 tickets. Why? What, are they just revenuers? Are they just trying to pump up their own resume so that they can get a promotion?
Well, that's my other issue. When I see him pulling over some lady in a $100,000 Mercedes with her hair done perfect, writing them tickets, I don't mind it as much. I'm not a Robin Hood guy, but that lady can handle it. When I see a woman with kids climbing around in the car and it's 110 on the road and she's got her hair, you can tell she's broke, and they're writing her tickets, man, I get mad. I mean, that is sick.
Traffic tickets are a huge economic barrier to the lower economic citizens. And
it seems like they're targeting poor people.
And then they get warrants for your arrest because you can't pay your ticket, so they put you on payment plans and charge you interest. Or, you lose your car. You can't pay for your insurance. I mean, when does it stop? We need to ease off of this. Less government, less crime, or criminal offenses.
So where do you stand on the Second Amendment, though? Sounds like you want it even more open. You want like a Vermont open carry style?
I have no problem at all with that. None. Now, you better be smart. If you're carrying a weapon and the cops pull you over, don't put your hand on it. I mean, that's just common.
No, sure, but that's up to, if somebody's an idiot, that's their issue.
That's right. It's put a helmet on them because they aren't going to survive a collision without a seatbelt. But the Constitution says we have the right to bear arms. Arms, that's firearms. Bear, that means carry. It's pretty simple.
But you don't have a right to menace someone.
No, then you're violating the law. You don't, just like the libertarian principle of live your own life free, but don't infringe upon mine. That's all I ask of you. It is, when you start looking at the state laws, don't even think about the federal laws, but the morality issues, What business do I have to tell you how to live your life if you're not hurting me or my family?
Zero.
Thank you. So why do we let the politicians?
Whatever happened to mind your own business? We've seen cases in Texas of 9-year-olds playing in parks across the street from the house, and the mother's taken to jail.
Oh, listen, in Texas right now, if a mother is arrested for possession of marijuana, CPS will come investigate their family to make sure that their kids aren't being, well, I'm sorry, they start off with the premise, you're an unfit parent because you smoke marijuana. That is a joke.
I've been at Barton Springs, and I've been in a restaurant, a couple of places, and heard good-looking families. You know, I mean, professional-type people. Not imagine the poor folks going, yeah, my sister went in to have the baby, and they found a little bit of marijuana in her system. They took it. And they're calling it child abuse when statistically it doesn't even do anything. I mean, it just shows they want to... The great crime is the state's taking your kids over something that's nothing.
That's child abuse.
We'll be right back with our guest, DWIDude.com. I'm Alex Jones, Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.tv. Stay with us.
Big business has discovered the preparedness market, and that makes it difficult to know where to go and who to trust. MyPatriotSupply.com is owned and operated by patriots just like you. Has the best prices on storable food, non-GMO seeds, water filtration devices, home canning equipment, survival and self-reliance books, and more. MyPatriotSupply.com has old-fashioned values and the absolute best customer service in the industry. Look for the deal of the day, unique, affordable survival supplies that fit anyone's budget. Get same-day shipping on all orders and free shipping on orders over $49. Call 866-229-0927, 866-229-0927, or visit MyPatriotSupply.com for emergency preparedness, self-reliance, and food independence. Shop with a name you know and a name you can trust. Before it's time to survive, it's time to prepare. MyPatriotSupply.com.
A chemical spill contaminating the water supply in 9 West Virginia counties.
This year alone, over 300,000 people in West Virginia had their drinking water contaminated.
What are the health effects of having these drugs in our drinking water?
It's forced medical treatment without the consent of residents.
My friends, water filtration is one of the most basic actions you can take to protect you and your family from the harmful toxins and heavy metals in your tap water.
On average, the county says it sprays with the glyphosate at least once a week.
Few filters cut out the glyphosate that is found in water supplies worldwide. Remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, hydrofluorosilicic acid, sodium hexafluorosilicate.
Fluoride, it is in tea, it's in coffee, it's in water, it's in bread, it's in toothpaste.
It is our responsibility to protect our families. The establishment's not going to do it. It's time to take action. It's time to filter our water. Visit InfoWarsStore.com and use promo code WATER to get 10% off their entire family of incredible products. Or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
You've been hearing about the in-home freeze dryer from Harvest Right for months now. Have you invested in yours yet? As you know, we live in a politically and economically troubled time. You should be preparing for an uncertain future today. Right now is the time to start freeze drying your own food so you can become self-reliant and less dependent upon others. To invest in your own home freeze dryer, go to harvestright.com. Hurry, supplies are limited. Again, that's a home freeze dryer from harvestright.com. And be sure to mention this ad to save $200 through the month of August.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to generate an endless supply of natural silver solutions. Silverlungs.com. You'll find no wild claims or pseudoscience, just a lifetime of nano-sized pure silver solutions. The Silver Lungs generator allows you to make your own, so stop paying for silver solutions. The unique lung delivery system targets respiratory infections where other silver solutions simply cannot reach. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at silverlungs.com. That's silverlungs.com.
Jamie Belasia will do 5 minutes overdrive and then let you get out of here. And I'll be back Sunday live 4 to 6 p.m. Central. I want to thank all our AM and FM affiliates and folks out there. But I wanted to ask you about cop culture. You tell me some amazing stories behind the scenes. That former narcotics detective that works for you in investigations was telling me stories about when he got shot in the neck and the rest of it. It is a rough job. I want to spend some time on that. Briefly, don't forget, this hour was brought to you by MyPatriotSupply.com/Alex. They're the best storable foods company out there, in my view. Super high quality, low price, non-GMO, great customer service. MyPatriotSupply.com/Alex, or give them a call, 866-229-0927. Just great to have some storable food. Last 20 years, put it in the attic, put it in the closet, and you can always eat your insurance policy in these crazy times. MyPatriotSupply.com/Alex to find the specials. And don't forget, we have all the great supplements and the new magazines in that you can buy in bulk and give to friends and family. It's called Mainstream Conspiracy Theories, the special issue, and so much more at InfoWarsStore.com. But Jamie, I mean, repeat what you were talking about, the different types of cops in the departments. And I was saying, why is it the young ones are the ones that are so dangerous?
You've got your older officers that are more or less in charge of training the younger guys. Now, I worked on some various shifts, but there's cool cops on shifts, and then there's jerk cops. There's just anywhere you go in any job, you've got that. But the problem is these young cops, they want to be accepted. They want to make their numbers. They want to get the pat on the back. And a lot of times they'll fall under the control of the jerk cops. And you see that happening, and you can almost, because when they're rookie cops, they're being scrutinized pretty severely by the supervisors. That nobody's going to be let go for being a decent guy, but they're worried about matching the statistics. You know, you got to write so many tickets, you got to make so many arrests. That's why I don't like this numbers game that they've got going on with the police departments.
Which they always denied and now is admitted.
Yes, it's the most ridiculous thing ever. Tell you what, when I worked out in East Austin and was told I had to write so many tickets, I'd come in with warning tickets. And I said, hey, I'm doing contacts. They'd get on me about that. They said, we need tickets. So I'd write the people the tickets for expired inspection sticker or equipment violations, and I'd tell them, go to court, I won't show up. Why would I want to take the money out of their pocket that they could fix their car with or feed their kids with?
Well, more and more the police pull people over I know and say just that. Go to court, I won't be there, and they're not there.
And of course, then, you know, at some point the prosecutors get all mad and start complaining to the police department, and then they start threatening to give days without pay for cops.
The truth is this money isn't even needed to run cities like Austin that is just overflowing with property tax.
Well, the police department, the police officers ought to be liked by the citizens. And for the most part, they are in Austin. But you and I are both aware that there are some guys on our police department here that need to be reined in. They are out of control. Yeah. Wearing the black gloves and marching around, being ugly, talking to you.
Well, sure, if I saw somebody like them without the uniform, I would immediately feel aggressive. And I won't go to 6th Street sometimes because I see those type of cops. They're looking at me with a crazed look, and I immediately, like, start, you know, it's like, what are you looking at me for like that for?
Oh, when they're trying to clear the streets on 6th Street.
Oh, yeah.
Tonight, I've been down there a few times advertising. I don't drink. I'm totally sober. And they're treating all of us like garbage. And I'm like, man, we would have never done this when I was a cop. They'd have jerked us in on the carpet and threatened us with days off for being verbally abusive to people. If somebody was videotaping me, the idea of telling them to put that camera up or turn, they have the right to do it. What right do I have to tell them that? It just blows me away. We just need people to the police department to lighten up a little bit, to try to be our protectors and our servants, and not our bosses. Not constantly.
When we come back, they'll finish the story about the cool cop group versus the thug. It sounds just like high school, where you got kind of the thug gang of guys and you got the cool guys. We'll be right back with Jamie Balasia, DWIDude.com. I'm Alex Jones, Infowars.com. Back this Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. live in studio. It's going to be a special broadcast, and I'll be on the news tonight, 7 o'clock. 7 Central tonight, PrisonPlanet.tv. I've always believed in nutrition and herbs. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals. Sourced from powerful organic herbs, harvested around the planet, and then concentrated for maximum potency.
I just received my Male Vitality about 3 days ago, and I must say, that is some good stuff.
After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic Super Male Vitality formula. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose.
I jump out of bed ready to fight these criminals every day. I look forward to waking up and taking my Super Male Vitality and getting the day started.
It's not just the Super Male Vitality. All the products at InfoWarsLife.com are simply amazing. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality and other powerful products from InfoWars Life.
Coast to coast.